Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an Into the Void today for your Friday. It just means it's going to be a bronze, silver, or gold level replay sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. Apparently, one player here is a silver player, one player is a gold player, and I'm not entirely sure which, but if you have guesses, let me know in the comments. Bottom right hand corner is the red Zerg player. It is a bakkasensei, which I put that into Google Translate and it gave me back a Japanese word. Thank you very much, Google Translate. Top left hand corner is the blue Protoss player layovah. Bakkasensei is also the name of a League of Legends player, and not entirely sure if it's the same person, but I don't know. People play different games at the same time, you guys. I know. That is news. Alrighty then, so layovah has a basic understanding of a Protoss build order, one gate expand, gateway, well, pylon, gateway, assimilator, nexus, and probe scouting as well. So maybe this is the gold player. Basically, based on the fact that this is a spawning pool first here from bakkasensei, which does not bode well for the Zerg. I think this is the first game I've cast on King's Cove. Oh, whoa. This is a very, very weird place to wall off for Protoss and Terran players. That is for sure. Okay, so bakkasensei went ahead and threw down an expansion here at our minute and 30-second mark, so I guess it's okay. Pool first is pretty darn good against cannon rushing, and maybe he's been cannon rushed a lot, so he's like, all right, hang on. I'm just going to go ahead and do a pool first all the time and call it good. But check this out. You have to wall this thing off. Actually, where's that? Oh, yeah, that's just a ramp up. No big deal. You have to wall this thing off too, and that thing off, or maybe you just wall off your front, but then there's a ramp? Do you wall there too? How much do you need to wall off this area? Oh, this is gross. There might be a reason I haven't seen this played on very much in games that I've received at my email address, and that's because Terran and Protoss players hate it. But layovah is cool with it. So again, this is just my, on Fridays it's Lowbie stuff. It's Mid-Rank Madness, which is Platinum and Diamond. And then it's Into the Void, which is these guys at the lower end of the scale. We just try to learn from this. We try to have a good time. We try to be entertained. Generally, the Into the Void stuff is going to be... There's a lot more stuff to talk about. There's a lot more weird stuff to talk about than there is in Mid-Rank Madness. That generally tends to be pretty standard, but timings are a little off. Maybe we don't have a huge army as often as and quickly as the pros do, and micro can be problematic as well. That's generally where most people live, is in Platinum and Diamond. If you've been playing the game long enough, you'll end up in there, but getting to Masters is hard. It turns out it's incredibly difficult. Anyway, Queen coming in, inject. You can get an inject. You can inject. You almost injected. It was very nice. You came running right up to that hatchery, and then you were like, meh. And you sat there. And now there's nobody injecting on the main one either. This is going to be a Zerg player that doesn't know how to inject, and really, we should expect it here, but it still makes me sad. Alright, so are we walled off? Nah, man, this is really ripe for a giant Zergling attack, and by that I mean, well, there are 10 more on the way, and there's already 4 on the ground. So layovah is going to have a hard time holding this with a couple of zealots, not even as part of a wall. If they were as part of a wall, they'd be fine. Although, if these Zlings just suicide themselves... Well, actually, not too bad. Did not just accept death at the hands of that zealot. Oh, the surround, though. Oh, layovah. That was disgusting. That was pretty. That was pretty stuff there, my friend. Did you lose any probes in that? No, no probes were killed. All of the Zerglings are dead. Morlings are here, and now they got speed. Now is when you are in trouble, if you're a Protoss player. I think this is enough Lings. Once again, the surround, though. More Lings are coming in, and once this reaches a critical mass of Lings, sometimes it gets a little bit harder to do. But you know what? Those probes did very, very well for themselves. One probe went down. For how many Zerglings? A lot of Zerglings. 350 resources worth of Zerglings. Tell you that much. Oh, and then we have the panic spine crawlers throwing up at the front for bakkasensei. Dude bakkasensei. Dear bakkasensei, you don't have to worry about it. I guess he did scout the 4 gates. So, alright, fair enough, dude. This is going to be a 4-gate attack from layovah. But what you want is this Overlord to scout, right? If these Zealots are staying home and the Stalkers are staying home, you don't have to start the Spine Crawlers right now. You could really start them as the army starts to move across the map. You really also want a bunch of Lings with +1 attack, ideally. I mean, the 4-gate has been around forever, and HD StarCraft taught me how to deal with it as Zerg. You basically wall off your natural base with Spine Crawlers and Evolution Chambers, get +1 on your Lings, and then you can shut it down. It really saved my laddering. I was getting wrecked by 4 gates all the time, left and right in the early days of Wings of Liberty, and that helped immensely. So again, this is the right idea. Banelings are also pretty darn good here, especially if it's Adepts. Adept Zealot. Okay. Adept Zealot attack here from layovah, but he has taken a 3rd, so maybe this isn't a 4 gate. Maybe it's a 7 gate. Is that probe stuck? I bet that probe is stuck in there. Look at that overlapping on the circles. The overlaps are real, man. All right, so that probe is stuck there until the end of time because no one's going to kill any of these buildings to let him out because this pylon's powering all this stuff. All right, so the Zealots are moving out here a little bit. Those Lings are just not gonna... All right, more Lings cruising across the map. Are they really trying to take the fight to these Zealots? These Zealots have been doing some decent work here. Is this enough Lings? That might actually be enough Lings, and this time bakkasensei just gets out, and he keeps running more Zerglings across the map here, trying to get some stuff done, but these are Adepts. Adepts trade pretty darn well against Zerglings, especially if they have fairly equal numbers, as they appear to have here. These Lings are now Banelings, which, all right, we can sneak up, through this grass and up there. I'm liking that. This Zealot is going to die, but not before he gets 5. Just kidding, he's actually maybe fine? Oh my gosh, he's fine. 7 kills on that Zealot. 800 to 150 resources lost. Layovah is doing exceptionally well right now. He's got a 3rd base done at 6 minutes. bakkasensei is still sitting on these 2. These spine crawlers have done nothing for him at all. The Zealots try to take down the 3rd. That doesn't exist, by the way. And where are the Banelings? Here are the Banelings. Here are the Lings. Here's a Baneling bust attempt. That's not a wall. I guess maybe you just walk them into the Adepts and watch them evaporate, I suppose. I don't know if this is going to work, is what I'm trying to say. Zerglings coming up early, getting just massacred for no reason at all. And then the Banelings wander in, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's a lot of dead Adepts. That's a lot of dead Adepts. And now there's enough Lings here to where these probes have to evacuate. They're going to start dying. Good old surround on an Adept right there. Where do these Lings go? They're trying to take down that Orthosis pylon that they saw earlier, and I think they're going to get it, but there are additional pylons that have come up since then. And as a result, only depowering 2 of the warp gates. Meanwhile, Lings here inside the natural base. These probes aren't fighting back. These probes don't know they're supposed to be fighting back right now. Meanwhile, Zealot coming on up. This Zealot has 6 kills. He will eventually succumb to these Lings. But we do have Zerglings cruising around inside the main base of layovah. The naturals have been cleaned up. The natural base Lings have been cleaned up right now. 22 Lings on the way. It's 53 to 29 workers. Layovah can afford to lose all of these probes. 11 probes have gone down, but he's still up 53 to 28. More Lings on the way. bakkasensei is playing the Falcon Paladin style of ZVP, wherein you throw Lings against the Protoss until they die, and maybe they won't die. I don't know. Don't look at me. Who knows anymore? But here goes nothing. It's going to be Lings, Banes, and Mutalisks. That's where I roll. Even against Protoss. I'm dumb that way. All right, that's another pile I could probably sneak down. How many Adepts are here? 5 Adepts are here. These probes are helping. I like the probes are helping, but the ones up north are just getting massacred because they're helping. Sometimes helping is bad. Sometimes helping means the Lings can target fire on you, and you lose a bunch of probes in addition, right? To losing maybe a couple Adepts there, and 25 workers have been killed. It's 39 to 32. A 3rd base is finally coming up for bakkasensei. He's got that Spire. Does he have Mutas? He has a Spire. He has no interest in making Mutalisks. Look at these. Man, probes have been forced to fight more in this game than I've seen in a long time. These probes were enlisted into the Protoss army, and they are fighting hard right now. All right, so where are we with this? 3rd base just about done for bakkasensei. He does have, obviously, the lair. He's working on +1 flyer attack, but he has exactly 0 Mutalisks, which is unfortunate because nothing here can shoot up. Layovah is working entirely on Adepts. Adepts, all the livelong day. If like 10 Mutalisks showed up here, everything would die. There are no cannons either. Okay, if you're going to bring your Adepts over to knock down these rocks, make sure all the Adepts can attack. There you go. Good job. Hey, look who's making cannons. Layovah's trying, but these Zerglings are upset. Do they have upgrades? Of course they don't. They do have Burrow. Which, what the what? Okay, that's really strange. All right, so bakkasensei has actually managed to pull even with the worker count for his Protoss counterpart. He is ahead 32 to 28 right now, which is great. Resources lost have finally kind of pulled even to 3,500 to 3,200 in favor of the Protoss player. Additional warp gates coming in. Well, Stargates. Stargates, just gateways. They're regular gateways that will eventually change into warp gates because of that new update. Yeah, there it is. That's pretty cool. That quality of life change that they gave Protoss players a while ago. Look, man, I understand you like your Banelings, but dude, Mutalisk is on the way. 1, 2 Mutalisk. Adepts at the top of the ramp. Little do they know Mutalisks are on the way here. Layovah, what you got for us, man? He's got cannons protecting his third, but no cannons anywhere else. Mutalisks. If there was only enough resources for more mutas from bakkasensei, he's at 32 workers on 3 bases. Saturate your 3 bases, make a ton of Mutalisks, and win this game, bakkasensei. I just feel like it's not going to happen, is what I'm trying to say. Now, these banelings would do very well for themselves if there were no cannons up here, but there are. And I don't... Maybe they'll get a cannon. That's my prediction, is 1 cannon will go down to these banelings. Maybe. Okay, actually 0 because they bypassed the cannons entirely and exploded on 3 probes instead, none of whom will die because the lings all got cleaned up because there weren't sufficient lings brought along with that bust. Woo! This is Into the Void. Feeling very voidy today. This is a good one. This is exactly what we're looking at from Into the Void, and the most recent submissions have been. So, I mean... If you have a Lowbie game, you're watching this going, ah yes, I'm learning a lot. I'd like Falcon to cast my game. I will not make fun of you. I will sometimes say this is very Into the Void, which just means that this is a lot of stuff we can learn from here. And that's good. It's good. It's good. It's entertainment. It's wonderful. And I'm not going to make you feel bad about yourself. Hopefully that's what we're looking at. Okay, pro tip here for the Protoss player Layovah. If you have this many adepts, get Resonating Glaives. It makes them 40% better with their attack speed, which is incredible. And they're already really good. Look at this. Look at how really good we are. These mutas are like, we don't need a 3rd base. We are just fine without a 3rd base. Let's go base race right now. Oh, man. That's a lot of banelings defending. If the adepts do possibly want to go to the natural base, which I think they're probably going to like, considering the fact they dealt with absolutely no resistance, but holy stalker count from Layovah. What is going on right now? When did he make all these? I don't know. The mutas are fighting. That cannon's going to die. Actually, no, we're going to fly away right now. Losing one of the mutas. Trying to depower, I guess, the Twilight. That's fine. Man, more cannons are up. He must have scouted this. He did not scout this. He must have... Observer, maybe? Something saw the mutas early. Because he is prepared for this. I like the muta control, though. It's not bad. He's flying around, not staying in one place any too long, focusing on probes and pylons and stuff. He's not just A-moving. Meanwhile, these guys are doing the A-moves. The A-moving adepts. And now here come the banelings, and ow, 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 ouch, ouch. Ow. Okay, well, those adepts are dead. Army supply 36 to 36. But it's Stalkers versus Mutalisks, and in equal numbers, the Stalkers will do just fine for themselves. The problem here for Layovah is he's lost a lot of probes. He's lost 68 probes. He is still way ahead of bakkasensei, which just tells you what kind of game this has been. 42 to 29 workers in favor of the Protoss player. I do like the muta tech switch, but at this point, your opponent knows you have mutas. They've got cannons up. They've got stalkers up. The stalkers, do they have any upgrades? No, because nobody's getting upgrades except for these +1 flyers, man. +2 flyers now, which might actually make these mutas trade better. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see on that. Injects are kind of happening in the main a little bit. That queen is sitting on 78 energy, so not as much as I'd like. 200 energy on that queen and 149 on this queen, and this has not been injected forever, and there's 7 drones on this natural base, and really got to just make drones, man. That is something I struggle with. I get it. In games, I'm like, I'm going to be attacked at any moment, but what you need to do is drone your face off, and then make a huge army when you can. That's exactly how Zerga's supposed to work. It's hard to balance, hard to figure out, it's very scary, but that's how you win. That is how you win these things. All right, so Muta's flying on in, and once again, not really much anti-air here. There's a cannon and 2 stalkers. A lot more probes are going to die. The stalkers coming in to deal with this and respond, and the Muta's just like, blah, 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 blah. These are delicious, bruised probes. There are no workers now. At your natural, I'm just going to fly away. How's that sound? Not good? Ah, ha, ha, ha. He's killed 86 workers from bakkasensei right now. 86. Small group of stalkers. All right, we can wipe those out with our +2 mutas. Absolutely, yes. Resources lost starting to pile up for Layovah right now. 10,000 resources lost. Mutas fighting to take down pylons and depower warp gates. 1 warp gate is depowered. Stalkers, again, in smaller groups, are not trading well here. More stalkers are coming in. Don't deal with those cannons. Don't fight with the cannons. Stalker down. Stalker down. Another stalker down. Another stalker down. These mutas are a terror. They are a terror. Oh, killing the cyber core would be pretty good. No more stalker production would be amazing. Oh, also getting rid of that upgrade. Very, very good there, too. I think that was +1 attack. Cyber Core getting focused down, but no, the Stalkers do manage to chase it away. He wants to get that Cyber. So bad. Too many Stalkers keep coming in. The Mutas are getting murdered, though. They are doing well for themselves. They're going to all die, but they do get the Cyber Core, which is nice, and more Mutas are on the way, which is also pretty nice. The remaining Mutas that fly home are heroes of the Swarm. 11 kills on that dude, 3 kills on that dude. Army supply 46 to 38. I don't know that layovah knows he needs to remake his cybernetics core to keep making Stalkers, but I assume he probably has a pretty good idea of it. Anti-air is just going to be woefully inadequate, as there is no Stargate, and all we can do here is make Stalkers, and we can't even do that. All we can make are Adepts and Zealots. Actually, can't even make Adepts. We can make Zealots right now. No Sentries, which is another anti-air option for layovah. Just not looking good. Not looking good at all for our Protoss player. So third base up, it is moderately saturated. Bakkasensei is sitting on 1,400 gas. That is all of the mutas in the known world. A lot of idle workers here. They did actually mine out that extractor. Could move him down, maybe start mining down here at the third base, or maybe even take a fourth right now. Layovah is really scared of additional mutalisk attacks. Ah, he did replace his Cyber. Good job. And he's getting Blink, which is also fantastic. So, despite all the damage that has been done by Bakkasensei here, I just really feel like layovah might be able to come back. He's making the right units. He's got Stalkers. Phoenix would be incredible here, but in the hands of an Into the Void player, Phoenix can be a little less ideal in that you cannot allow the mutas to attack your Phoenix. You need to stay away from them and consistently be moving with them and firing at the mutalisks that way as a fourth base goes down for layovah. But usually what happens as Zealots decide, now is our time. Now is our time to take down that third, walking right over creep in full view of everybody. Actually trying to take some gas, but gets blocked, incidentally gets blocked there by the Zealot. That was kind of amazing stuff. That drone is alive, but no. Thought was for sure dead. But yeah, Zealot attacks when there's mutas actively defending the base. Oh, this guy doesn't even get back to work and start making an extractor. You can also take that guy. Are there any golds on this map? I don't know, but fourth base is done for layovah. Anyway, the point is that Phoenix in the hands of lower level players are going to get in direct confrontations and fights with the mutas, and then they will die. So you do want to make them versus mutas, but you really need to be careful with them. It takes a lot of APM to do that. So the good news for layovah is he's lost all of his probes. He's lost 87 probes, but he's back up to 65, and it's only 40 for Bakkasensei right now. He is working on his forge. He's replacing that. He's got a fourth base. His expansion timings have been pretty fantastic, in all honesty. He's even oversaturated at a couple of his bases here just because he's been making probes so consistently, 4 at a time now throughout this entire game. +2 Flyer Carapace. Now, this might be where Mutalisks just trade well with Stalkers, where Stalkers don't have any upgrades at all except for Blink, and the Mutas are 2-2, and maybe we can even get 3-3. He's got an Infestation Pit. He could upgrade to a Hive at some point, but he's not doing that. Also, the idle drone count is getting a little bit high for the Zerg player. I'd really like to see him expand down here. He knows about this pylon. He just lets it live, even though he knows stuff can warp in here. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know about warp in. You think he's just like, where the heck did those Zealots come from? Oh well, this pylon had nothing to do with it. Seems entirely possible. Look who's making 3 Stargates though. Layovah going for the 3 Stargates. I hope they're Phoenix and not Void Rays, because by golly, mutas will trade pretty well against Void Rays, especially if they outnumber the Voids, as they will in the early stages here. Is he just going to go after this? I don't... Oh, they're leaving. The Stalkers are leaving. All right, wow, that's cool. You're just going to leave this entirely undefended base. That's cool, I guess. Man, +2 mutas do so well against buildings. Oh my gosh, that Nexus is dead. And now you get out. There's the Blink. You lose a couple mutas. Okay, maybe even not that many mutas. And you get out. And then Tissue Regeneration shows up. And, oh, all right, we're a little bit trapped. I think you're kind of forced into engaging right now. Juke out. 1 Stalker down. Maybe a Pylon down. Maybe an Assimilator. He really likes to finish the job. So, no, the Blink. The Blink on top of the... Oh, the mutas are fighting. They don't want to be doing this, even with the upgrades that they have. Just muta anti-air is really great in generally all situations. Blinking, chasing right now is layovah. Pretty decent Blink micro, too, from the Protoss player. It is not bad. 9 more mutas on the way. He's got spines ready to rock. If you want to fight into these spines and these mutas, be my guest. But no pulling them away. Oh, this is genius from layovah. The mutas are fighting. They're splitting up their attacks. They're not even focusing down stalkers individually here. And suddenly, it is 60 to 59 army supply. layovah has a massive lead. The stalkers are doing really well with their almost +1 attack against these buildings, against these spines. They do that bonus damage versus armored. Spines are not that good. Not as good against them as it turns out. What you want to be making here are Zerglings, bakkasensei. A lot of Zerglings, preferably with upgrades, but if you don't have them, that's fine. The Muta's actually trading okay here, but once again, pulling back for the safety of the one severely injured spine crawler with all of 2 kills to its name. So, we're still here at 3 bases. The 4th base gets entirely sniped. layovah needs to replace this. He has the money to replace this. If you're putting pressure on your opponent, absolutely replace it here. Is this pylon? That pylon finally get knocked down by some Zerglings. But just pure Mutalisk for here from bakkasensei. I just don't see it working. +1 attack is done for the Stalkers, which means they're catching up in upgrades for the Mutas because they're not getting additional upgrades. Blah, another Muta gets killed. Overseer getting focused, I guess, which is weird because you're not really doing anything that is cloaked at all. Look at these spine crawlers just die to these Stalkers. +1 Stalkers versus spines. Not even a fair fight at all. This is working so dang well for layovah. Where are the Speedlings? Banelings coming in for additional DPS. And you know what? It might actually be enough Queens fighting in here too. Zerglings crushing. Absolutely doing so well against these Stalkers, but the Muta count continues to dwindle. The remaining Stalkers here are just not dying. 3 kills, 6 kills, blinking up onto a spine crawler. Bam! Spine crawler gets a kill. Some more drones getting killed here as well. 20 workers, 20 drones have gone down. 93 probes have died. More Lings and Mutas are trickling in right now. This is trickling defense out of bakkasensei, and generally this does not work in StarCraft, except for the fact that you're in Into the Void, and the reinforcements have been nowhere for layovah. Right, man? layovah could have absolutely won this game just by spending the money that he has. Is these Zealots going to get this hatch? No. Woo! 21 hit points. Almost getting that hatch. Wonderful hold there. But yeah, generally, right, if layovah is making additional Stalkers with this 1,600, 3,300 bank that he's got, he just continues warping in Zealots and Stalkers and wins this game as bakkasensei trickles in 2 or 3 Mutalisks and 8 Lings at a time. Unupgraded Lings, mind you. No upgrades at all on those dudes. Hydralisk Den on the way, which is pretty great against the gateway stuff that layovah has been throwing his way. The Stargates have not done anything for layovah either. I mean, at that point, honestly, just show up with Void Rays and just win at that point. There are not enough Mutas to stop them. The Zealots, they want this hatch so bad. But actually, they're taking the time to fight against the Lings. There we go. Sniped it off. You can transfuse that, you know, if you had any Queens available, which you do. You got a Queen over here with 195 energy, who fairly recently injected. Good for you, man. How about these guys? No current inject, but sitting around 50 energy. Replacing the 4th base, and 4 unupgraded Zerglings are not going to stop this. Nope. Did not. 10 more Mutalisks on the way from bakkasensei. Would you believe me if I told you there's 10 more Mutalisks? Now, bakkasensei is taking a 4th base. He recognized that at the 23-minute mark of the game, I should probably have 4 bases by now. And honestly, you should have all of the bases by now. Just expand. Expand a lot. Make a ton of drones. If you lose bases, it's better than never expanding at all. 'Tis better to have expanded and lost than to never have expanded at all, is what I always like to say. Fleet Beacon coming in from layovah. Is he going to try to go carrier here? That would be interesting. That'd be really cool, actually. These +1 Zealots are just the bane of these Lings' existences. They 2-shot. They go whack, whack. Watch these Lings die. Actually, the Stalkers will handle them first. Yeah, the Zealots weren't even really part of it. Good distraction, though. Not a bad distraction, actually. And you know what? Handful of Stalkers, once again, no match for a whole ton of Mutalisks. And by a whole ton, I mean, good golly. Like 16 or 20 of them here? Sheesh. More probes going down. bakkasensei, he has done amazing amounts of damage to layovah, but he refuses to expand and make drones. So this base going to die again. Another base is done for layovah, though, so losing this not as bad this time. And the Zealots show up and go to town on bakkasensei's third. They own this joint. They love this place. The drones are fleeing for their lives. The Nexus does go down for the bakkasensei. Where are the banelings? You used to know how to make banelings. There's one. Okay, that wasn't too bad, but my goodness, look at this. 6 kills on that zealot before he goes down. He just trades so efficiently. Such efficiency here. Okay, the mutas are trying to take down cannons, which, sure. At this point, all right, I get it. Slowing down the gas income of layovah would be great. Killing the third base entirely would be fine. Not much gas left here for layovah, honestly. He was about to lose it anyway, but zealots continuing to march on in here. There are now hydras, though. Oh, but hang on, the fourth base has been scouted, and that is just too juicy a target for them to bypass. Yeah, man, look at these. Just all right, so Protoss stuff is dying. Zerg stuff is dying. The mutas are attacking into 6 cannons. Don't do that, man. By 6, I mean 5, because there's actually 5. Pylon down to depower the Stargates. Oh, the Stargates are depowered now. Cybernetics core getting focused down here, too. Nobody is responding to the Zealots hacking away at bakkasensei's 4th base location. The mutas, no Stalker. Bad. Another Pylon getting focused down, depowering some additional warp gates here. Bakkasensei has 1,200 minerals in the bank, but can really only make Zealots with them, which is actually not bad. The Zealots are doing pretty good for themselves. The Cyber Core is down. So now he can really only make Zealots. The mutas are tissue regenerating, as we can see here. 43, 44, 45. It's nice. It's not incredibly zippy, but it's zippy enough as to be almost considered overpowered in a lot of situations. All right, so more Stalkers come in. I don't know where they're coming from exactly, but they are going to take out one of the mutas there. Maybe a couple more. And the blink out. All right, so this is the one base mining for layovah right now, and bakkasensei's income is abysmal. He's mining from 1 mineral patch. I think layovah has this. I've been saying that the whole time here. I just feel like the muta strategy is cute from bakkasensei. It's a lot of fun, but he's just not expanding well enough to make it work. If he had a maxed out mutalisk army, of course this would be fine. Of course this would totally work out for him. Layovah has 10 army though, which is not good for him at all. He needs a new cyber core is what he needs, and he's making one. He's making one not too far from where the mutalisks are working. He's trying to take down the Stargates. Meanwhile, the Zealots are doing more work here, but there we go. Ling Hydra is much, much better against... Oh, but you can't get directly stabbed in the face by the Zealots. They will hack you to pieces if you allow that to happen. Actually, nice job pulling out there from layovah. All right, so the mutas are a little bit aimless at this point. They're not sure what they're attacking. Individual warp gates are not exactly how you want to do this, but this right here, if he knew this existed, I think it might be game over. The mutas would just wreck every one of these probes. We'd be down to nothing from layovah. He's at 52 workers on 1 base, which is amazing. Hey, layovah found some more Stalkers somewhere. Where on earth did he find more Stalkers? I don't know, but his army supply is not great. Did he warp it? He must have warped in some additional ones with his newfound cyber core. Is that what happened? That is what happened. He's warping in 3 more Stalkers here with the 3 functional warp gates that he has. I think they're all here. 1, 2, and then 3's down here. Yep, three functional warp gates. His gas, actually, his income is not too shabby right now, both for gas and for minerals. So the thing about bakkasensei is he's not taking this opportunity. Well, he is expanding, but he's not making more drones. He's making some more Zerglings. This pylon is still up. That Zealot has 19 kills. 19 kills. Ah, the mutas are attacking into cannons and losing their numbers. Not what you want to do. Do not do that. Do not lose your numbers there. I refuse. I refuse to allow it as Falcon Paladin. All right, so these mutas are great. 12 kills, 6 kills, 11 kills, 3 kills, 5 kills, 7 kills. Secret base for layovah is going to be the end of bakkasensei. If he had been scouting this whole time and just seeing what's up for the Protoss, he thinks he's winning because there's no income for layovah. But secret, how is he making all these Stalkers if his income is gone? Think about it. It's very sneaky. Finally, the Zealot's going to go down. Hero Zealot, though. Man, he did some serious work. In fact, these Lings refuse to be upgraded. It makes me feel horrible on the inside. All right, man. It's 52 to 12 workers. 18 to 40 army supply for bakkasensei. Did he find this? He found it. He found the base, but there are too many Stalkers here now. You had a huge window to get something done there, and you failed miserably with it. Muta's coming home. A lot of Zerglings out, though. This is a little bit scary for these Stalkers. Run! Blink! Do whatever you gotta do, but do not get surrounded by these lings. Holy crap, bakkasensei. Wait, what? No, 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 no. Do not split your lings. Do not split them. Oh, zealots coming in are exactly what you need there. And yeah, once again, ling attacks do nothing. Nothing to stop this at all. Man, like, banelings getting dropped in here would be just, like, really, really great for bakkasensei. Another expansion would be good for him, too. Because right now, seriously, you're being left alone. You need to drone up. You're sitting at 11 workers here, man. This is... Into the void, it's into the void. There should be a theme song for Into the Void. All right, man, these lings are trying to do stuff. And you know what? This might work out for them. If they had upgrades, it'd be so much better. And instead of getting surrounded and murdered by their prey, they might actually kill some additional probes here, but they didn't. But they didn't, because they don't have upgrades, because bakkasensei does not believe in upgrades for Zerglings, or upgrades at all past, like, the 15-minute mark of the game, I believe, is how that works. All right, man. Layovah has made nothing but gateway units in this game, and I think is going to win it. Army supply 52-30 in favor of Layovah right now. Here come the perfect number of zealots to deal with these hydras and these lings. The stalkers are fighting. The muta count is currently down to 3, and they're running for their lives. Too many +1 stalkers present, and just as too many zealots, man. This is overwhelmingly Protoss right now. 2 workers for bakkasensei. Army supply is at 6 right now. His only source of income is dead. And Layovah, despite losing 118 probes, despite losing nexuses left and right, he's got this thing. He's got it in the bag. Bakkasensei just doesn't know it. It's 95-5 total supply. He's trying to base race with some Zerglings. And by Zerglings, I mean 1 Zergling who is dead now. Army supply is 2. I think that might be the Overseer. And that is your good game. Bakkasensei taps out, and Layovah throws out the GG2 because he is good manner. Bakkasensei says N, and that is it. Layovah is your winner in 31 minutes and 43 seconds. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. That was amazing. That was a really, really fun Into the Void game. I had a great time casting it. There was good action. There was a lot of mistakes. There were some weird decisions made. Layovah did not make a single non-gateway unit. He had the fleet beacon. He had the stargates. He never did anything with them at all. He just won with +1 stalkers and +1 zealots. End of discussion. Boosh. 33,000 resources lost for Layovah and 32,000 lost for bakkasensei. And really what this comes down to is Layovah is willing to expand. He expanded to 5 bases, where bakkasensei barely managed to get a 4th up at the end of the game. Never replaced his 3rd after losing it. Really never got up. I want to say, like, how many workers did he lose? 65. So he never got more than 65 workers, period. And really, the number that were killed over time here means he never really was above, I want to say, 50. Maybe he was in 40 at some point, but by golly, it didn't feel like it. He just does not have the income side of Zerg figured out. Meanwhile, Layovah knows. You make probes and you make pylons, and you get some upgrades, and you make a lot of stalkers and zealots, and eventually you can win at these lower levels. I mean, to get out of silver or gold, it really needs to come down to being able to use other stuff like Storm and Disruptors and Colossus and things. Storm especially, though. If like you have only time to learn one thing as Protoss, learn Storm. That's how that works. All right, cool. Well, good game. Congratulations to Layovah getting the win in 31 minutes and 43 seconds, despite being under such an onslaught there throughout the entire game. Just always expand, guys. Always do it. Think of Layovah. All right, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an Into the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
And so you must run. and it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on. Looking for a reason and a way to atone. All around you, the planets and stars. You're lost in a maelstrom of a great new unknown. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, and you're running into the void. You go searching into the